Now, UK Prime Minister Theresa May is due to outline progress on Brexit in Parliament later. She says 95% of the deal is now complete. At the weekend, an estimated 700,000 people demonstrated in London demanding a vote on the final deal with the EU. While still with us, Alberto Gallo of Algebris Investments and Wolfango Piccoli of Teneo Intelligence. Wolfango, 95% of the deal, but it's the 5% that are really tough to crack down, and that's the Irish border. How will they do it?
Well, they're going to do it the way in which Brussels will tell them to do, and that is a plan that we knew since basically Easter. Since then, what we have seen is lots of grandstanding from the UK, from the British side, and no serious debate about that. And at the end, the solution will be the one that Brussels put forward. The UK will still stay into the customs union for an amount of time. No date will be specified. Now the question is for Theresa May to sell it. The Europeans might give her some nice wording around it to give her a bit of more leeway. We might even have still a special summit in November so she can claim victory, but that is the solution.
Okay, well, how do you see this going, Alberto?
We think it's an extension, 1 or 2 years extension. Substantially, not much will change during this period. So in other words, the UK will remain business as usual. However, investors will continue to question the long-term viability of putting a long-term capital, buying factories in the UK on a 10 to 20-year horizon. So there is an economic loss. In financial services, we think that the passporting is the main bargaining chip that the UK can give to Europe. So in other words, allow moving banks to Europe in exchange for access to the common market. So we think that there will be continued moves of headquarters from London to other parts of Europe. Generally speaking, this period of kick the can doesn't look great for growth, but on the other hand, some parts of the UK are priced for recession. Again, tail risk is something that we like because we don't think there's an immediate tail event. We think it's a slow, muddle-through scenario.
How would the Brexiteers actually take a fudge?
Well, if I can connect to what Alberto mentioned, I think there is a tail risk. It's a vote in Westminster. If there is an area where we have no visibility, is whether the moment in which we have a deal, whether we will get a positive vote in Westminster. That is a tail risk. And we have no precedents. It's going to be very difficult to try to crunch the number around that. And also the other pieces of legislation that have to go through Parliament there. So there is a risk here significant, even in a moment in which a deal has been agreed. The Brexiteers, they will basically have to help themselves. No, this is a country that has not seen a serious, meaningful debate about Europe for the last 40 years. It's time to have it, basically. So whether they like it or not.
A second referendum?
No. All of that is out of the way. No, there is no time. There is no will to do that. It's practically impossible. No, it's a question they're going to have to realize here whether they want a deal that Brussels has largely framed for them or face the cost of an hard Brexit.
All right. Thank you both. Alberto Gallo there of Algebris Investments, Wolfango Piccoli of Teneo Intelligence.